Video bandwidth and distribution of Talking Scuba is provided by Blip TV, the next generation television network for independent shows. Do your part by donating today by visiting TalkingScuba.com.
This episode of Talking Scuba is sponsored by the Great Lakes Shipwreck Festival held in Ann Arbor, Michigan on March 5th. For more details, visit their website, shipwreckfestival.org.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Talking Scuba. I'm Bob Shoemaker.
And I'm Cam McTavish, filling in for Jim Norton.
And this is episode number 22. And we are a bi-weekly show discussing all different types of diving, from shallow warm reefs to cold deep wrecks and everything else in between. Have you been diving at all lately, Cam?
Not as much as I'd like to. Last time I was out was with you guys at Versluis back in back in December.
Oh yeah.
So the usual, saw a lot of fish. It was nice to see that the visibility was improving.
Sure.
Just a time to get out with the guys and have a little fun. Why not?
Yep. And I think we saw some bass out and saw some pike and stuff. So it was a good dive. And like I say, this is my favorite time of year to dive. Getting underneath the ice and just even when it's cold and there's no ice, the visibility, like you're saying, just gets really, really great. So a pretty fun dive. We just did a New Year's Day dive with Tim Marr.
I missed that one. I understand that the visibility was just kind of so-so? Or?
Yeah, visibility was a little rough, but so was the weather. It was about 25-mile-an-hour winds.
We got a lot of rain the day prior, so I imagine.
So it was nasty out. The channel, the visibility had gone down. We were diving in the Holland channel. And so the visibility was definitely limited, and the surge was really tough. We were back and forth. A lot of fun, though. Again, a time to get together. With
sure,
yeah. A lot of fun. So anyways, I want to let you guys know we have our blog postings up. So me and Jim are both writing up some stuff. Some of it you'll find interesting, I hope. And it's a lot of fun for us to do. So we've got had a lot of success with that so far. You guys are leaving a lot of comments, which we really appreciate. Now, to let you guys know about where we are going to be in the next couple weeks, Our World Underwater is coming up very quickly, and we will be there filming and talking to all of our different fans, as well as a lot of the different people that are going to be there, a lot of the sponsors and stuff like that. So if you see us around with our cameras, don't be afraid to stop us and say hi and tell us what you think of the show, good, bad, or otherwise. So hopefully we'll see you guys down there. As well as an opportunity to see us down at Our World Underwater, we hope to see you on some shipwreck adventures that we are doing this year. I've got 3 trips planned, which you can see on our calendar on our website, and that is through me. It's not necessarily through the show. So if you guys are interested in any dive trips with us, we've got a couple different things. We're going to dive Mackinac again, which you guys have already seen, some trips that we went there and dove, and then we're also diving up north even further into the UP. Diving Copper Harbor, as well as over in Milwaukee. So if you guys have the opportunity or you're interested in doing some shipwreck diving with us, those dates are available on our website. Now, before we get too far, I also want to mention one of our great sponsors, Neutral Dive Gear. These guys are a great clothing company, sporting the hat as always. I think I got this hat about 7 or 8 months ago, and I've worn it every day, so I really love their stuff. I know they're pushing their boat coat and all their sunset gear as well, so they've got a lot of cool stuff going on right now. Also, don't forget to go to our website and check out the poll. We've got different polls going up all the time. Leave your comments on there and click and see what you like and what you're just interested in. Now, I also want to tell you guys about some interesting stuff coming up on the show. We got some really big name people coming up on the show.
Exciting stuff.
Very cool. Some really big names, some things that are going to be happening in the dive industry that we're kind of getting ahead on. And it's really, really exciting stuff. So stay tuned for that stuff. Right now, I want to switch over. We did a quick interview with the owner of Advanced Paintball and Scuba, which is Tim Marr, Captain Tim Marr. So let's cut away to that, and we'll be back with you after this. Hey everybody, we have a special guest in the studio today. We've got Tim Marr, the owner of Advanced Scuba and Paintball. Captain Tim Marr has 28 years of experience in the marine and dive industry and currently holds a 100-ton U.S. Coast Guard master license. He is also a TDI, SDI, SSI scuba instructor. Now, you've got a shop out in Holland. You just reopened at a new location.
Yes. 321 Douglas Avenue.
It looks really sharp. We just were in there a couple weeks ago. We took some pictures and stuff, so you guys can see that. Now you've got a little bit less space, but it looks like you're a lot more comfortable there.
Yeah, we got a lot more traffic there. A lot more people coming in off the street, walk-in stuff. So. Yeah.
And your shop mostly focuses on the tech programs?
We do a lot of trimix people, a lot of rebreather divers, stuff like that. We cater to everybody, but we try to do the tech divers more than anything. So.
And you also do a lot with the adaptive scuba programs.
We do, yep. We've gotten very involved with the adaptive scuba, handicap scuba, whatever they want to call it. But yeah, we've gotten real involved with that.
And you did just recently did a program with Mary Freebed.
Yes, we did a adaptive clinic with Mary Freebed. We had 20 of their patients there, got them in the pool, got them on scuba diving gear, and really enjoyed it, really had a good time. So.
And what got you into that whole program? What was your interest in that?
I'm a veteran. I'm a military diver, ex-military diver. I really wanted to be able to give back to some of the guys that I served with that aren't as lucky as I am to have the mobility that I do, and I started looking into it, and here we are today doing it again. So.
Yeah, and you now your shop, you also have some chartering stuff that you guys do.
Yep, we have a 30-foot bayliner that we take people out on dives. We're actually going to retrofit that for handicap divers this summer.
That's excellent.
So we can put a crane on it and a cradle so we can lift them in and out of the water. We're working on that right now. So
you'd be able to take them to do some of the wrecks that we do here locally?
Absolutely.
What kind of wrecks are you guys diving on?
We dive everything from 18 feet in pent water all the way to 270, 280 feet. From here to Thunder Bay, we kind of make the loop through the straits and wherever we can get a boat to.
Sure. So. And you've done a lot of work with the MSRA, the Michigan Shipwreck Research Associates.
I'm one of the 4 divers for the MSRA. We do all the deep, anything beyond 150 feet. I'm one of the divers, one of the 4 that do that type of diving for them to do all the surveying on the shipwrecks, try to identify them, do the video, camera work, whatever we have to do. So.
You guys have anything you want to tell us about yet, or you got to keep that a secret still?
You'll have to go to the show.
Yeah.
You'll get me grounded.
Yeah. No. And just what he's referring to, you guys, is here in, was it March? February, something like that?
Usually March or April.
March or April. There's a big show where you guys will be able to come and see exactly what the MSRA, the Michigan Shipwreck Research Associates, have been working on over the past year. What they usually do is they go out and kind of mow the lawn, so to speak, right? Find new shipwrecks, and then you're lucky enough to go out and dive on some of these cool things.
I'm very fortunate to be able to be the first one out of 4 people to touch the wrecks after they've been down in Lake Michigan for since the 1800s. So.
What are some of the coolest shipwrecks you've been able to dive on?
They're all cool.
Sure.
I mean, every one of them you get on is a new adventure. The Michigan was 2 years old when it sank, so it's like it's brand new. All the artifacts are in it. There's just so many of them.
Sure.
It's hard to really hit on any one specific. So.
Cool. Well, you guys also did a New Year's dive here recently.
Yes,
we were
did.
out there diving with you.
Chilly.
It was a chilly day. Is that something you guys do annually?
We do. Yep. We try to do a New Year's Day dive every year in the channel in Holland.
Yep.
We've always hoped to be able to get into the lake, but we never can because usually the wind's blowing the wrong direction.
Yeah, it was a little choppy out there. I think within the channel you probably had 3 or 4 footers, and then the surge was pretty strong.
Yeah, we had probably a 2-foot surge that day.
Yeah, the surge was really rocking even down below. So It was a good time though.
Yeah, we had fun.
And then you guys had a little party afterwards as well. So
so did you guys though.
Well, we did, but we got lost on the way, so we somehow ended up at a bar. I don't know how
you
that.
probably had a better party than we did.
Well, anyways, Tim, I want to thank you for being on the show today, and also thank you for your service. We really appreciate that, and we'll see you around real shortly.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Tim. Hey everybody, and welcome back. I want to send out a big shout out to Tim Mard. Thanks for coming on the show and giving us all that great information. We had a really good time having him here on the show. Before we get too far, I want to let you guys know for a donation of $5 or more, emphasis on the or more, you get $3 or you get 3 of these stickers. We'll send them right to your house. We're really excited. We've had a lot of donations lately. Just keep them rolling. That's what's going to help keep us coming to you. So really excited about that. Keep the money rolling in. We really appreciate you guys. Now, I think we have some viewer-submitted email as well. We're going to answer Jane's question today. Jane writes, have any of you ever encountered an unfavorable situation with a fisherman above or below the water? Do you ever come upon hooks dangling in the water? Have you ever surfaced near a boat and scared the fisherman? Thanks. Jane. How about you, Cam?
Not necessarily unfavorable directly. I've heard second, maybe third hand that they've cut buoys to some of the wrecks and stuff because they don't like us being there for whatever reason. For the other part of the question, though, as far as like the hooks and stuff stuck on the scent line and stuff, definitely. You definitely want to keep an eye out for that because you cut your finger or whatever. And you always want to make sure to have some kind of cutting tool with you too, because there's always going to be line and monofilament and stuff stuck to that ascent line and parts of the wreck and stuff.
Sure, especially permanent buoys and stuff like that, like you're talking about. A lot of the fishermen, especially here in Michigan, if you're not familiar, they troll. They do a lot of trolling for fish, so they're moving around constantly, and sometimes they get hung up on our scent lines or even the wrecks sometimes. And that leaves big balls of monofilament, and those can be very, very dangerous to get yourself cut out of.
You see those, what do they call them, the cannonball from their outrigger, and like those are attached to like cabling, in fact, too. So
they can be very, very dangerous. Yeah, we find a lot of different stuff laying on the bottom, hooked to wrecks, hooked to lines, and stuff like that. Obviously, very important, like you said, to carry some sort of instrument. Obviously, we're not going to fight off sharks with our tiny little dive knives, but we can always cut our way out of them. So definitely important. I've got a kind of an interesting story. We were up in Traverse City doing our river dives, which is one of my favorite dives, and it's hardly a dive. I mean, we get to 12 feet, but it's a really, really fun time up in Traverse City, Michigan. We dive down through, and the current just kind of, it's a drift dive, basically. The river just pulls us along. But there's salmon and steelhead all over the place, and they have a fish weir there. So the fish stop there. They kind of work their way up into the dam area, and then they're harvested, and they harvest the eggs, and then they reproduce them and put the fry back into the river at a later date once they grow up to the right age. So they release those fish back in, but in the meantime, when we're diving, we get out, go around the fish weir, jump back in the water, and then from there down below is open to fishing. And so there's always fishermen there. And, some of the fishermen are like, hey, cool, do you see anything? What's going on? Can you grab me my fish hook or whatever, that I lost? We're always willing to help out if we can. We're not really pushing the fish out because, this isn't necessarily their permanent habitat. They're just moving through. Right. So we're not disturbing their fishing or anything like that. But some of them get pretty mean and nasty at us, and they get, it's just like kayakers. If a kayaker comes through and you're fishing in the river, you just let them pass. They're not hurting anything necessarily. We have to share the resources. So we have a lot of fun on that dive. That might be the only bummer part of that dive, but definitely there's lots of things dangling in the water that we need to be aware of and to worry about.
I think there's more issues with people with power boats and stuff more than anything.
I agree.
They disregard the dive flag and stuff like that. So I'd be more concerned about getting run over or something like that by one of them.
I completely
more than
agree.
A fisherman.
Yeah, fishermen are usually really respectful. They're quiet, not out bothering anybody. But the power boaters, just by their nature, are always moving around. And if they don't know what the dive flag means, they might be using that as a buoy to race around. So be real careful around all that stuff, but especially the power boaters. So I want to ask you guys to help us out in one more way if possible. If you are watching us through iTunes, go on and rate the show, whether you're giving us a 4 or a 5 rating or whatever it is. We hope it's on the higher end. And leave your comments. That helps us build the show and get more people watching and learning about the great resources we have here in the Great Lakes and around the world. Let's get everybody out there and diving and watching the show. So if you guys want to contact us, you have your viewer-submitted email. You can do that through the website. Check out our polls that we have up there. And you can also watch us Blip TV. Check us out there as well. We want to see you guys next week here on Talking Scuba.
To the next dive.
To the next dive.
Cheers.
Cheers.